Well, hello. Today we're going to learn how to cook yucca root. Before though, we've got to understand two things. Raw, it's poisonous, so don't eat it raw. Second thing, you have to be drinking. I like to drink mine out of a coffee cup. Today, we'll be enjoying a $12 bottle of wine. I like the screw top myself, easier access. Next, waxy exterior has to come off. We're going to use a knife, not a peeler. Peeler's not strong enough. Be right back. Good German knife, steel. It's already sharp, don't have to worry about it. Don't cheap on your knives, keep them sharp, less likely to hurt yourself. Take the ends off. Right, and we're going to get it into manageable sized pieces. Now, we're able to get the skin off without a peeler and without wasting too much if we're just careful. Easy peasy. Of course, if I had a dull knife right now, I'd have to push hard. More likely for me to cut my finger off. More likely it to slip, go flying right into the old jugular. That's the end of your cooking career. That's okay. Poof, it's done. So, I didn't buy a big yucca root, but there it is. So we're going to cut them in half. And in quarters. Maybe not the small ones. Now, it has a core, you probably can't see it from there, that we're supposed to cut out. And it's like a carrot, I guess, or like a pineapple. Slice a little bit off there. This does not seem very tough to me, so I would imagine an older root would be maybe more fibrous. So I don't think it's probably that big of a deal with this particular one. So you can still see there's a distinctive core to it. Having never cooked this before, I'm not sure if that's normal, but it's sort of falling apart almost. I'm not even sure what it's supposed to smell like. I'm going to throw that piece out. Next step. Boil it. It's like a potato, or probably a lot of other roots. Quite starchy. Probably not very good to eat. Tough like this. So we're going to throw in some boiling water, which I have behind me. And let that sit. Next step. Alright. We're going to make some chicken to go along with it. More wine. Different cutting board. In case I use this one for vegetables again. I prefer to use plastic with poultry. Not sure if there's a good reason for that, but that's what I like. Nice, delicious chicken breast. Doesn't smell funny, probably good. Alright, so how to have good chicken breast. I like to cut this part off and just fry it by itself. Pretty good size. Flatten it. Some people use tools. Use your hands. Now it's flat. Obviously, that's going to give us a way better cooking uniformity. Gonna wash my hands. Gonna grab some spices out of the old spice rack here and see what we can do with it. Gonna use one of these spices. My friends gave it to me over in Europe right now. I spent some time in Italy with them, so these are some spices that they've offered me to remember the trip with. Got the Tuscan blend, the garden blend, and the kitchen blend. Well, we are in a kitchen, so I'll use that one. That smells good. Red chili, salt, parsley. Pretty easy one. So, how to make this really good every time, okay? Rinse the raw chicken off my hand. Frying pan. Olive oil. Olive oil in frying pan. So, expensive olive oil, cheap olive oil. Expensive olive oil, put it on foods that you're not going to cook, or don't cook the expensive olive oil, cook with cheap olive oil. Cooking it supposedly wrecks the flavor, so I've heard. Frying pan, get it pretty hot, the right size. So, put the chicken in the hot oil. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Flip. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Turn it down. Lid on. 10 minutes. Flip. 10 minutes. Done. So, the frying on each side locks in the flavor or the moisture. And basically, really hot with the lid on. Sort of steams it, poached it. Keeps the moisture. You don't get that dry, disgusting, gaggy, can barely eat. I've just spent $20 on the good chicken breast and now it tastes worse than McDonald's. So with this oven, with this stove, it does not take very long for this to heat up. Gas top, so it's very nice. So I'm ready for it. I can smell the olive oil cooking already. Seasoning, I'm going to use some spices I grew in my garden earlier this year, last year. Little this, and little this. Yep, little of that. Tarragon. Thyme. Probably can't see any of this. And mystery herb. If I had a mortar and pestle, what I'd probably do around here, I'd use it if I knew where it was. These are so dry, they're just going to chop right off. Put that in a bowl. Smells very nice. I just love onions so much. Who needs the slap chop? One line. one drink. We're also going to grind up some cumin, coffee grinder, cumin seeds I grew. See those? That's probably plenty. All done. One drink. Strain them. Frying pan this. Onions, herbs, more herbs, onto the heat. Don't forget more olive oil. It's good for you. Not all fats are bad. One thing I did not cover yet, I've already cut up the root, but is how to pick a yucca root. So when you're at the grocery store, there's a whole mound of them. Which one is the one for you? With watermelons, you might tap them. Pineapples, you might squeeze them. Apples, whatever. With the yucca root, what you do is a whole pile of them. Well, here I've got a yam here. Let's pretend this is a root. You look through them, right? So first of all, you have to visualize, get into the right mental state. Pretend they are all alien penises, okay? Then look through them, and whatever one you find the funniest, that's the one you should pick. So it's as simple as that. There's not a lot to it. Take it home. Now you can buy several if there's, depending how many you're cooking for, and if there's a couple that you really find funny looking. But that's pretty basically it. You can't go wrong. That's my experience. That's the way to do it. So I'm just frying up with the onion, the spices, the yucca. Like to get a little bit more cooked. I tasted one; it was cooked, but it was a little bit on the starchy side. Plus, I like to have it a little bit browned and crispy on the outside, so I think it'll work out perfect. I probably took them out just the right time. You don't want it to get mushy, obviously. Gives it time to the onions all nicely cooked, all the flavors to mix. I'm all about the mixing pot. I think these are basically ready. I'm gonna plate these and see how it is. Let's see how it is. I've never cooked this before, so I don't know how it's supposed to taste. So we'll just go for the pass-fail grade right now. Hot. That's pretty good. A lot like what you expect, a potato or a yam or whatever else. It's a starchy vegetable. I probably could have cooked it a little longer, but I'm not actually sure that would have made a difference because I've never cooked this before. Maybe longer wouldn't make any difference. Good flavor. It's not strong. It's mild flavor. It's a nice alternative to potatoes or sweet potatoes. The spices I randomly put on ended up being not bad. And let's try the chicken. Well, that's a good sign. Cut into it and it actually is extremely moist. But right to the center where it's most likely to be dry. See how it is. Now, I haven't really let this sit very long, so that's a no-no, of course, but yeah, even without sitting, it's pretty moist. It's cooked all the way through. Next time I do it this thickness, I'm not going to do 10 minutes aside. Go down to 7 minutes because there's not a hint of pink in there. Probably less you cook it, the better, as long as you're not going to die from salmonella. I'm going to edit this video now. Oh, one more drink.